The Elden Ring patch released. With it, a bunch of glitches / exploits were removed. For one, the Mogh dynasty boss fight where you could skip the boss by doing a jump exploit, this was removed from the game, and with that there has been a few other ones that have been removed, so a lot of boss fight glitches / exploits were removed. So with that, we're going to go through everything that currently works in the game, going through an exploit with health and then a bunch of farms you can use right now in Elden Ring as of the most recent patch. So without further ado, let's just get straight into this video. Enjoy. Alright, so for our first exploit glitch farm, we're going to make our way toward the Raya palace, and what we are going to do is enter the palace. And if you're not already aware on how to get toward this palace, basically if you come toward this area, I believe it's just around here-ish, there should be a dragon and there should be a guy on the floor. Take this item and from there you can access this Lucaria palace, and with that you're going to simply make your way toward this grace and follow the graces as I'm marking here. So you're going to go through the main academy gate. So we're going to start at the main academy gate, we're going to go all the way down, take a right there, and we're going to go all the way down toward the schoolhouse classroom, and you should eventually get toward this area. And once here, grace, because we're going to need to take another route, and this one's going to be toward our left. So we're going to wait and go toward our left here, and there should be a bookshelf here if you haven't already whacked it, but basically whack the bookshelf and it will disappear, and you should see a new exit point which we're going to take, and from here take a left. So I'm going to quickly grab that item, take a left there, jump down, and from there go all the way from this edge, then take a left, and now you should see these rocks, and we're going to need to simply jump on these rocks. And as you can see, there will be a little passageway leading us toward an item, and this will be the first item we need, the Olivinous Glintstone Crown. This is the item we're going to need for this health exploit. And with that, we're going to now go back toward the schoolhouse classroom, and we're going to take the route toward our right. So we're going to go toward our right, trying to avoid every enemy in our way, but basically just run as fast as you can, as these enemies can be tough for new game players. But if you are late in your game, they shouldn't be too much of an issue, but basically go all the way up toward this area right here. Now when you first get here, there will be a boss fight which you're going to need to go through. I've already done the boss, but a tip I can give for this boss fight is to just keep on dodging the attacks from the boss, and eventually if you have a high powered weapon, you should be able to take this boss out no problemo. From there, rest at this grace, and we're going to simply go through this little gate, and now we're going to go toward our second location for this item. So we're going to target the left side of this building, as there is a boss near this area that can kill us if we're not careful. So you hug this building by going left here, and there it is. So we're going to hug the left side, and from there we should be able to avoid all types of enemies, and the only enemy we need to kill is this one right here. So go ahead, take this bloke out, and from there we have now access toward this little thing right here. So quickly kill it. And once you kill that crab, you should get the Carolus Glintstone Crown. This is the last item we need, and from there we can now do this exploit. Alright, so for the exploit itself, what we're going to need to do is first get hit by any type of enemy. So let's go ahead, find an enemy. So this bloke right here, we're going to aggro the enemy, and we're going to take damage. And if any situation you take damage, what you are going to want to do is just spam these two items like so. Just spam these two items and you will gain all the health back. So let me show you guys again what I mean. So get hit by any enemy, bang, let's get hit a few more times here. Alright, so that's good enough. Let's go toward our equipment and just spam these two items. Bang. There you go, we should gain all our health back. If you don't want to use your items like your tears in a boss fight, just go ahead, go toward your inventory and just get rid of these two masks. Keep on going left to right. And as you can see, you will gain health back for just doing this. Now, I'm not sure if this is an exploit or a bug or what it is, but it does seem like you gain health for just going left and right here. So I'm going to say that it's a bit of a bug, but yeah, you guys can just go ahead, get damage, and you will easily be able to gain all health back by simply going left to right. So that's pretty much it for our first exploit. Let's now head over toward our rune farms. For our first farm in the video, this will be located at the mountaintops of the giants. Now come here, this can be located this can be found later on in your game, so you won't get here straight away, but eventually when you do make your way here, come toward the foot of the forge. And when you do get here, you're going to grace in this spot right here, so rest at this grace, and you're going to simply walk toward this creature right here. So jump up, walk a little bit forward, and you will notice that a big hand will fall on the bird. So that will happen, and you will gain 2,000 runes for just walking forward. Now once you do this, make sure you grace straight away, as that hand thing will come after you. But basically for walking forward, you will gain 2,000 runes for that hand crushing the birds. And we can make our way back, and we can gain 2,000 runes each time we go back and forth. So it's not the most effective rune farm, but it's definitely one nonetheless, and it's a pretty decent one if you guys are mid-game. Early game, this is also really good, but the area itself can be located or found later on in your game. So you may need to wait for this farm, but when you do get it, it should be pretty self-explanatory. You're walking straight and back, and you will gain runes each time you do this. So that is our first rune farm of the video. Let's head straight into rune farm 2. Alright, so for rune farm 2, this will be a rune farm that is known throughout the community. It's one of the better rune farms, or the best rune farm in the game currently, but this rune farm can be utilized really efficiently if you do follow the things I'm about to say. First of all, if you have the golden scarab, I highly advise using it, as it does give you a rune boost of around 50%, I believe. It's something like that, but have the gold scarab as one of your talismans. If you do not know how to get the golden scarab, I will have a guide down below in the description which you can check out, and that's where you guys can find the golden scarab. But quickly, I'm going to quickly go through it very briefly. This Celia crystal tunnel is where it can be located. You're going to go through this tunnel, and killing the boss there, you will get the gold scarab. It is a bit tough, but just get that and you should be good to go. Another item I do recommend utilizing is the gold prickled foot. Now, if you don't know how to get this item, I will have a guide down below in the description, but basically you can craft this item, and you will need a roa fruit, a 4-toed foul foot, and a gold firefly. The locations of this area are gonna be quickly shown here. So the prickled feet can be located near this shore where this 4th church of Marika is located. The next item is the golden fireflies, which can be located toward this little pool area right here. So exactly opposite the 4th church of Marika can be the golden fireflies, and the roa fruit can be located in basically any grass area. They are a very common item, so you shouldn't have too much trouble locating this item, but that is how you can get the prickled gold feet. But with that, you can now grab any weapon you want. I do recommend grabbing the sacred relic sword. However, grabbing this item will require you finishing the game, so maybe just use any other weapon if you haven't quite finished the game yet. The Sword of Night and Flame can do pretty decent in this strat, but basically just destroy every single enemy in front of you, and doing this you will gain a bunch of runes. Here I'm gaining 50k runes each time I press L2, which is pretty insane, but the reason why I've got this is that I have New Game Plus I do have the Sacred Relic Sword, which does make the grind a lot easier. However, any weapon should do in this strat, but the Golden Relic Sword, it's definitely one weapon I do recommend using. But if you just keep on going back toward this grace and going back and forth, you should gain a bunch of runes. I'm currently gaining around 100,000 runes each minute, but you guys may gain less or more. It just depends on your New Game Plus and the weapon you are using. But this is one of the most infamous strats, and I do recommend using this strat before it is either patched or they move the locations of the enemies. But with that, let's head over toward our last farm in the video. So for this, you're first going to need to come toward this grace in the Lingrave area. From there, venture a little bit further out from this spot, and there should be a little lagoon which you will see a teleport thing where you can interact and teleport toward this new area on the map. Now, what you are going to want to do is follow my route with your horse. So simply follow my horse, and as you can see here, we just go straight toward this bridge. We simply go past it, we go all the way down, and eventually we come across this grace, which we can then grace, and from there we can head into this farm. Now this farm is super simple. All you need is a horse, which you should already have if you're playing the game, and with that you're going to want to equip your horse, and from there go down this little slope, and there should be a big ball which should spawn in. At that point you're going to need to juke the ball so that the ball falls, and from there you will get 2k runes by simply moving straight. Yup, by moving straight. Now if you're playing early game, I recommend using this, as for your early game there may not be too many good methods for grinding, but this one is definitely one I do recommend for early game players. But you can now grace, go back to this spot, and keep on rinsing and repeating this farm to gain runes for early game players. Now this method will grant you around 10,000 runes per 5 to 4 minutes, so it's a great method for early game players, and for those that are not too yet into their Elden Ring game, then I definitely recommend trying this to get those levels up. Anyways, that's it for this video, and until next time, take it easy lads, and goodbye.